Canada made Tucker Carlson really upset. And made me really upset, too.
Marcella is a mother who lives outside Toronto, Canada. She's got a 23-year-old son who suffers from depression and diabetes. Also, he doesn't have a girlfriend. On that basis alone, doctors have just approved her son's assisted suicide. A doctor called Joshua Tepper signed off on it to kill the boy because he's sad and doesn't have a girlfriend. We know this because of the Substack Common Sense. You can read the details, and you should. They're shocking. This is about to become a lot more common in Canada as a way of cutting down on healthcare costs. By March, a new law in Canada is expected to allow children to be killed by doctors, by state doctors, without the approval of their parent.
It's really bad, isn't it, Tucker? I'm just so upset. They have taken rights away from parents and put the rights in a child's, decision. With all the propaganda out there, it's just absolutely evil. And where's the spirituality of the afterlife? They missed a lot. They hate us, Tucker.
This seems like a very big change in Western civilization. Charles Camasey is a professor at Creighton School of Medicine. He's the author of Losing Our Dignity. He joins us tonight. I sure appreciate your coming on to assess this. We've had this conversation multiple times, and each time we do, we reach a new and more terrifying low. Doctors killing kids without telling their parents because the kids are depressed?
Let's see if I have the laundry list right.
Okay, first of all, that's diabolical, especially after they haven't gone to school for a couple of years, and quite frankly, downtown East End, Vancouver, pretty well hung out in the streets, proved to everybody, hey, you tortured the kids. MK Ultra mind controlled the kids for 2 years, fear propaganda, and now, wow, you were torturing them mentally, emotionally, and isolating them. You came up with these laws while people are locked down, and there's not even an outcry in Canada. That's what I don't understand.
Hey, Tucker, at this point, we've got kids now, or what they call mature minors. We've got the homeless, we talked about that last time, the poor, the disabled, those with chronic pain. And then right before coming on, I researched a physicians group in Quebec that wants to kill newborn infants. That's what's coming next. The Toronto Star, Tucker, a very liberal paper in Canada, called this...
I want to vomit, okay? Because we already had a baby murdered down here at the beginning of the pandemic, and I don't even think that baby got a funeral. What kind of Canada is this? Is this a Nazi Canada? Is that where I'm living? Russia doesn't have anything diabolical like Canada. The fact that people aren't standing up makes me wonder what the hell was in the Jabberwocky. And of a video that I seen that was leaked from the CIA, quite a while ago, and I seen it in 2018. Have they turned something off? I don't know.
Hunger Games social Darwinism. This is what happens, Tucker, when autonomy just goes nuts.
I mean, you hate to, I really try never to invoke the Nazis because, for many reasons. But they...
Okay, Tucker, I went there and I invoked it at the beginning, especially when I saw who was tracking us. Okay? In trust? Oh, yeah, right. Gunther Quant? Hung out with you-know-who.
They're famous for doing this exact thing. Use doctors to murder the weakest in your society. And I thought that doctors kind of agreed after the Second World War not to do things like this.
I'm astonished.
Yeah, you would think, and I'm the same way. I think we should be very, very hesitant to use those arguments. But at a certain point, Tucker, if the shoe fits, Canada has to wear it. Now, the question is, can we stop this from coming to the United States? It hasn't got here yet, and I think we can. For instance, New York, Connecticut, even deep blue states like that have not legalized even assisted suicide yet. And so what we need to do, Tucker, and all...
I've heard about the newborns, and I was standing up against that around starting in 2018. And it first was going through, trying to go through a couple of the States, in America. And I didn't hear about it after a while. Now, all of a sudden, poof, all these absolutely horror show bills are coming out. Bill C7. And there's not an outrage, anywhere. It's kind of scary. It really is. Like, what's wrong with you? The only thing I know that's quite different between me and most of the majority of the Canadians is, I didn't get the magic. No. I said no to everything, including the big giant Q-tips. So that's the only thing I can understand.
Your listeners need to do this is support in whatever way you can healthcare that is about caring,
Yes.
not killing. In fact, there's a coalition of people. There's a coalition of people coming up with a brand new medical school, the Padre Pio School of Medicine in 2026, that is going to do this very clearly, very ably. And if others would like to join a coalition of people who are doing this, I urge them to send me a message through my website, charlescamosi.com, or through Twitter, because we have to get off the couch and do something about this for those of us that see the writing on the wall here.
Shouldn't the American medical...
Okay, I've seen the writing on the wall as soon as I found out about the writing on the wall, and I haven't stopped. And then I found out about the kids. Then I found Tucker talking about it. But I do talk on the comment sections to try and get extra attention with shocking, like their kids are going to. Mature kids. What the hell's mature kids? Who's going to say they're mature? You don't know what's inside a kid's head. You can only guess.
Association weigh in and just say unequivocally, doctors in the United States don't get to kill children just because children are depressed. A doctor's job is to help people, make them better, not to kill them, give up on them when they're kids.
I'm lucky they brought me back, okay, from the dead, because they didn't bring back 40,000 in Canada. So I may have issues with the medical people, because after you get real bad medical malpractice, you get bad medical service, So anyway, this is very emotional, just to see even Tucker upset.
Well, as I wrote at length at Losing Our Dignity, Tucker, we have a very, very different healthcare system than we had even 20 or 30 years ago. It is hyper secularized. It is often based on cost-benefit analyses, even something called quality-adjusted life years, which is basically ableism. We've had a lot of talk about ableism over the last couple of days. This is ableism right here. And it's no accident that the disability rights groups are our biggest allies in this. We should continue to employ them as, again, we get up off the couch here and fight.
Yep.
Okay, so what I hear is the best thing to do if you hate this shit is join the disabled peoples and fight that way. Thank you, Tucker. I'm pretty upset by this whole thing. It makes me sick. I could have never guessed I'd be living in a world like this. And then in the worst neighborhood, in Canada, on top of it, that qualifies. Everyone qualifies in my neighborhood pretty well. I mean, there's so many depressed people in my building, just, we've gone through so much. We've had to listen to the mayor in the office line that it's been like this forever. No, you made it way worse during the pandemic. We're not stupid.